Hello everyone. So we are still on our lesson on how to create VLANs. So previous from our previous episode, we discussed about how to create VLANs, and we created some VLANs, and now we created the VTP server, and I've created so these are VTP server. So these other two switches are VTP clients, and I've configured them with all the necessity that they need. Okay, so from here we are going to configure SSH. I'm using the command prompt now. I've configured line VTY on each of the switches, so we can SSH through all our switch. Okay, we don't have to disconnect our console cable to each of the switch. Okay, so everything is configured. So SSH dash L admin 192.168.4.2. Okay, so we have Cisco and we have suite config T. So we have SSH into our switch 1, and when we do show VLAN brief. Okay, so I use do because I'm in the configuration mode. Now when I'm in the privileged exec mode, I cannot use do, but in case I am configuring something and I want to see how far it is, how my configuration, whether it's successful or not, and I don't want to go back to the previous exec mode to do the show, I will just have to add the command do in front of the show. Okay, and I will just continue with the commands that I need, or I want to showcase on my interface. Okay, so in here I use the do because I'm not in the privileged exec mode. Okay, that's why I use the do. So right here you see sales, marketing and admin. I've configured sales, marketing and admin on VLAN 10, 20 and 30. Okay, so we will SSH dash L admin 192.168.4.3. sorry, so if I can do that, I need to be in the privileged exec mode. Okay, SSH dash L admin 2.168.4.3 SSH. Okay, so Cisco and switch and Cisco. Okay, so in here I want to show if my VLAN have populated, because I've created VTP client for this particular switch. Show VLAN brief. Oh, that is very bad configuration. So our VTP, other VLANs have not showed up here. Why? Because VLANs need to be communicated through a trunking port. Okay, so we need to create a trunking port so that we will allow these VLANs to communicate through. Okay, so without a trunking port, our VLAN cannot communicate, won't be able to communicate with each other, or won't be able to pass through the network. Okay, it will stay on the switch. Okay, now because we want our VLAN to communicate throughout the switch, we need to create a trunking port. Okay, so which port should I use? So show IP int brief. I want to know all my port that is available. So I have port 24 on my switch, which is connected to port which is also connected to port 24 on switch 1. Okay, so I'll go to the interface of port 24. So interface fast question mark 0 question mark slash 0/24. So on the interface, or I can just do int fast 0/24. Okay, this is the shortcut for the whole command of this. This is the shortcut. So I mean, this is more convenient than this one. Okay, I don't have to type all these things. I just have to type this command, and now I'm in the interface of port 24. So now port 24, I want to configure trunking on port 24. So I need a command. So what command do I need? I need to switch the port. Now I need to switch the port. Set switching mode characteristics. Okay, so I need to switch the port to trunk mode. Switch ports. So what command do I need again? So in here I need mode. Okay, I need the mode. Set trunking mode of the interface. Okay, I need mode. What command do I need? Trunk. And I think that's it. So switch port mode trunk. Sorry. Now because I switch the port, now my SSH has disconnected, so I need to connect it back. And I think it is still not connecting. You see now I've created a trunk on my port. So I will do the same on switch 1. I'll configure a trunk on switch 1 2 on port 24. So let me go to my laptop. So already I'm in switch 1. So I'll go to config T and I'll configure on fast 24. You switch port mode trunk. Now I'll continue with my configuration by using the command again, switch ports. By this time I'm going to use trunk, and my next is I'm going to allow VLANs. I can choose a particular VLAN, or I can choose all. So as you can see, there's a lot of commands here. Add VLAN to the current list, or all VLANs except, do you understand? So I'm going to use all because I want all my VLANs to pass through that trunk, or I can just choose a particular VLANs to pass through that trunk. Okay, so now I write memory. Now let's try to SSH into switch 2. Switch it back. So I'll go to config T and I'll send the same command. /24 switch port trunk, allow VLAN or okay. So I'm in switch 2, so I'll just write 2 now to show VLAN. Oh, now you see that since I allowed trunking through port 24, now my VLAN created on switch 1 has now populated here. Okay, that populated here. So let's go to switch 2, switch 3, sorry, SSH. So SSH to switch 3 admin 192.168.4.4 Cisco and switch to show VLAN brief. Oh, so it has not reached this part. Why? Because we have not configured trunking on this switch between switch 2 and switch 3. So we need to do the same for switch 2 and switch 3. Okay, so I'll go to interface, I'll go to config T. Now I'll do show IP in brief. Now which port am I going to use? I'm going to use port 23. Okay, so I'll be int patch 23. So switch mode trunk. Now because I just switched the trunk mode, there is a disconnection. Okay, so it will just come up. Okay, so I'm going to be in switch 2. So it's still trying to disconnect. So I'm in switch 2 and I'll configure trunking on port 23. So if I want to configure several ports, I'll use the interface, then I'll add the command range in order to configure one or more ports. So I can do port F0/122, F0/23. Do you understand? So I can do that here, but let's quickly configure. So switch port mode trunk. Switch trunk allow VLAN or let's SSH into switch 3. I think it's back on, and so now I'll call on T. I'll do in 50/23 to switch trunk allow VLAN or so I'll do show VLAN brief. There you are. So in our switch 3 we have been able to populate our VLAN from switch 1 to switch 3. Okay, so all our VLANs are created here. So we have been able to create VLANs, and our next lesson we are going to learn how to assign ports to these created VLANs. Thank you.